Childhood amnesia. Think back as far as you can. For most people, the earliest clear memory is around age 3 or 4. Before that, almost nothing. Maybe a few blurry fragments, and even those are hard to trust, which is strange, because those first years were some of the most intense experiences of your life. You learned to walk, to talk, to understand the world, and you remember almost none of it. This is childhood amnesia, and it happens to basically everyone. The part of the brain responsible for forming long-term memories, the hippocampus, is still developing in early childhood, and isn't yet equipped to store experiences in a way that survives into adulthood. There's also a language component. A lot of how we store memories involves attaching words to experiences, and before language fully develops, events are much harder to hold on to. The strange part is that young children aren't experiencing life any less vividly. They're laughing, crying, forming attachments, having strong feelings about things. It's all happening in full intensity. It just doesn't make it through to the other side. Whoever you were at age 2 is almost completely gone to you now. The doorway effect. You get up with a clear purpose, walk into the next room, and the second you get there, the thought is completely gone. You stand there trying to retrieve it, you can't. Walk back to where you started, and then you remember. This is called the doorway effect, and it happens because your brain organizes memory by environment. When you're in a specific space, your brain groups together the thoughts and intentions that belong to that context. Walking through a doorway triggers a kind of mental reset. The brain closes out the previous context and opens a new one. The intention you had in the other room got filed with that room. Going back works because you've re-entered the context where the thought was formed. Your memory wasn't failing. It was organizing by location, the way it always does. It just happens to be inconvenient when you're trying to remember why you walked into the kitchen. Alice in Wonderland syndrome. You're lying in bed or sitting quietly and something feels off about your own body. Your hands look too small or too large. The room feels like it's stretching away from you. Objects nearby seem way bigger or way further than they actually are. Everything feels slightly wrong in scale, like the world has been resized without telling you. This is Alice in Wonderland syndrome, named after Lewis Carroll's story, where Alice spends most of her time either too big or too small for the space she's in. It's a neurological condition that distorts perception of size, distance, and sometimes time. It's most common in children and tends to show up at night or just before sleep, though it can occur at any age. It's most often associated with migraines, viral illness, or the brain's activity just before sleep. The leading cause is thought to be unusual electrical activity in the parts of the brain that process size and spatial perception, the same areas that, when working normally, help you judge how far away something is and how large it actually is. When they misfire, your sense of scale goes with them. Lewis Carroll himself is believed to have experienced it, which may have been part of what inspired the story. Semantic satiation. Pick any word and repeat it 10 times in a row. Chair, 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 chair. By the end, the word has stopped sounding like a word. It sounds like a noise, a random collection of sounds that doesn't seem to mean anything. You know what it means, but it's temporarily lost all sense of meaning and just sounds strange. This is semantic satiation. When you repeat a word rapidly, the neural pathways that connect the sound to its meaning get temporarily fatigued from firing so fast. The connection between the sound and the concept weakens for a moment, and the meaning just doesn't load. The sound remains. The sense disappears. It recovers within a few seconds once you stop, but in that window, completely ordinary words feel alien. It works on written words too. Stare at any word long enough, and it starts to look like it might be spelled wrong, or like something from another language entirely. Your brain just needs a short break before it can process it normally again.